So Web 3.0 is the next generation internet, or what we call the decentralized internet. So the evolution first started from Web 1.0. So Web 1.0 was that era where we used to use basic HTML websites, building static the websites which were static and read-only websites, the websites on which we can just read content or use emails, phone numbers, fax. So that was that era, Web 1.0, and then came the Web. So it's not moving forward. Then came the era of Web 2.0. So Web 2.0 was that era when we saw social media websites, we saw e-commerce websites such as Amazon, Flipkart. We saw social media content and the websites which were having a very rich user interface and user experience. The websites which were built using JavaScript and new technologies, and the websites through which we can collaborate or interact with. But and in some example of Web 2.0 is the websites such as Amazon, Netflix, Facebook. So these were kind of not websites or what we call web applications. So these websites or web applications were something which had a very rich UI experience and interaction. Then came the Web 3.0. So Web 3.0 is the current era, as Web 3.0 just came and it is in a very nascent stage. So this Web 3.0 word came into existence when Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook will be shifted to Meta. When Metaverse came, the existence of Metaverse. So Web 3.0 is that era, Web 3.0, or what we call the decentralized era. Decentralized basically means that in Web 1.0 and 2.0, we saw that in Web 1.0 and 2.0, we saw that websites were controlled some central authority. Like our data was governed by some central authority. We were having no control on our data, and currently this is happening now also. So, and we have also seen some cases of data leaks, websites getting hacked, our data is not secure. So then came Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is a decentralized era. In this decentralized era, there is no central governed authority. The network is totally decentralized. We are the only one responsible for our data. So that is the Web 3.0. So this is the basic difference between Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. In Web 1.0, as we said, we were using basic web pages of HTML, of Java and JavaScript. And in Web 2.0, we saw social media websites, we saw mobile applications, um, we saw high quality camera video applications and high speed communications. But in Web 3.0, this is the era of decentralization. In this era we'll be seeing about decentralized applications. We'll be seeing user monetizing their data, even monetizing their content. Here we'll see the metaverse, the era of metaverse, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the era of artificial intelligence and blockchain. So these are the characteristics of Web 3.0. The first comes the digital identities. So identities will be digital. Everything will be distributed and decentralized. There will be complete connectivity between in the whole network. There will be trust. Everything will be transparent and trust. Like as I said, we'll be aware like where the data is, where our data is stored, and what is happening with our data, and the micro payments that we call the cryptocurrency part. The payments, the borderless payments which are being made today. So now coming to the essential part of Web 3.0, that is blockchain. So we can say blockchain is basically the backbone of Web 3.0. The whole Web 3.0 era relies on the blockchain. So blockchain is not a software, it's not a hardware. So blockchain is a whole technology, just like artificial intelligence. So it is in layman terms we can say it's a chain of blocks, and this is or a database. But this database, it is a shared immutable database. Means once a transaction or once the data is being stored on this database, it cannot be changed, it cannot be reversed, and the transparency is maintained once the data is being stored. So As I said, the data can be stored on the blockchain, and data can be anything. It can be in a form of a JSON format. Or what we say, the transactions which are being stored on the blockchain. So each transaction contains some data. So data can be anything. Next, coming to the properties of blockchain technology. So these are the properties of blockchain technology. Transparency is blockchain is, as I said, it's a database or what we call a distributed ledger. So ledger, it's basically a table. We can say कि blockchain एक table है, and there are transactions being recorded on this table, and all these transactions which are being recorded, they are transparent. Means anyone can view those transactions, but no one can see your data because data is encrypted. The records of the transactions which are stored on the ledger, they are immutable, means they cannot be changed, they cannot be modified, and it is totally distributed. Like as I said, the ledger is totally distributed and distributed across the whole network, and anyone who is part of the network or can see that ledger from any part of the world, and the ledger is secure. Security part I'll explain in the next slide. So as we can see, this is a block diagram of a blockchain. So the first block in the blockchain we call the Genesis block. This is the first block, and the hash value of this block is 000. So and this is block 2, block 3. So that's how a chain is connected, and this is how the chain is formed. So in each block we can see we have a hash value of each block, and that hash value is the same in the block 2. So previous hash is the same hash value which was of the Genesis block. So that's how this chain is formed. That's how all these blocks are connected to all these blocks are connected to each other, and each block has a data. It can be, as I said, the data can be anything, and data is encrypted using certain cryptographic hashing algorithms such as SHA-1 and Ketchik-256 algorithms. So these are that's how the data is encrypted. And if somehow if somehow a hacker is trying to see, for example, if a hacker comes and he's trying to manipulate this block 3, he or she is trying to change this particular block or the hash value of the block. So what will happen is, if a hacker is successful in changing the hash value of block 3, but as we said, all these a chain is formed and all these hashes are connected to each other. So if the hash of block 3 is changed, the hash of block 2 is automatically changed, and the same will happen with other blocks. So that's how it is almost impossible to hack the blockchain. So that's where the security part comes. So blockchain is secure, but there are some attacks. Blockchain is vulnerable to some attacks, such as DDoS attack, that is the distributed denial of service attack, and 51% attack. So blockchain is still vulnerable to these attacks. So we can't say it is totally unhackable, but on some point we can say it is almost unhackable. So this is the architecture of the technology. So that's how centralized architecture look, or what we call the Web 1.0 and 2.0. So that is a centralized architecture. This is the decentralized and distributed architecture. Everything is connected to each other here. So that's how an architecture of blockchain look like. So it is as in according to the bookish terms, we say it is an open financial ledger or record where transactions are authenticated and authorized. So once a transaction has to be stored on the blockchain, it is authenticated to confirm the transaction is legitimate or not. And a blockchain is designed as a decentralized network of million computers. So the dots which you are seeing here, these are all computers. So all these computers are connected to each other. That's how a network or a distributed database is formed. So these are the key characteristics of blockchain technology. First comes the cryptography. So in blockchain technology, we use the concept of private key, public keys. So that's where the cryptographic concepts comes. And by storing the data also, we use cryptographic hashing algorithms. So immutability is the record. Once a record or a transaction is stored on the chain, it cannot be changed. It cannot be modified. Provenance is once a transaction is stored on the blockchain, we can check the origin of that transaction from where the transaction came. And transparency, which is the main part. So suppose if there are two person A and B, and the person A is sending some amount to B, and but B says that he didn't get the amount. So and A also doesn't have any proof. Like basically there is no transparency between them. There is no transparency that the transaction was made by A or A to B. But when it comes on blockchain, if A is sending some crypto to B using blockchain, so a transaction will be stored on the network. So that's how we can. That's how the A can the person A can say ki I made the transaction. It is stored on the distributed ledger. So that's how the transparency is maintained. So on this public network, anyone can check the transaction. They can check the transaction freely, but yeah, they can't check the data because it is encrypted, and the data can be encrypted through public and private keys. That is some different concept that we'll talk about. So that how a transaction is recorded. That's how a transaction is recorded on the blockchain. Uh, so that's how transaction is recorded on the blockchain. So suppose if I'm making a transaction on the chain, first transaction is so first the transaction will be requested or authenticated. So first, if I'm sending a Bitcoin to someone, so first I'll make this transaction. It will be first requested, and a block representing that transaction will be added to the chain. So before adding, a node or a miner will mine the block. So a node or miner, they are the participants in the blockchain network, the computers which I showed the dots. So these are basically the nodes and miners. They maintain the whole network. They validate the transactions. So here node will validate the transaction, and if he successfully validates, the node will receive reward for that. So that's how a node or a miner earns. While mining a Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency. So after getting a reward, a block will be added to the chain. So that's how and when the block will be added, so in the distributed ledger, the transaction will be updated, and that's how a transaction is successful. The transaction is complete. So this is the whole flow through which a transaction is made, and as I said earlier as well, the data can be anything in a transaction. So this is how a real transaction look like. So this is an example I took from Etherscan. So that's how we can check the transactions on Etherscan. So Etherscan is a block explorer through which you can enter the transaction hash of the transaction ID of the transaction, and then there you can check. So this is a block representing a transaction. So this is the transaction hash, the status, the block number or the block height, like the number of the block, as I said, block one, two, three. So this is the block number, the timestamp when the block was added. From this is the origin through the person who made this transaction, and two. So this transaction was made to a smart contract, and this is the value sent in the value is the basically the value sent in the transaction fee is the fees paid to the miner or the node. This is the gas limit. So in Ethereum, basically what it happens is whenever we have to make a transaction, we have to pay some certain gas fee. So in other terms, it is basically a transaction fees. So gas fees is almost negligible. So that's how this is basically fees paid to the blockchain or to the miners for maintaining the network. So this is the gas used by the transaction. Uh, this is the gas limit and the gas price. So GOE, so that is showing 0.0001 Ether. So it is one GOE. So Ether has some other units. GOE is one part of them. And this is the nonce. So what happens is, coming to this diagram back. So when node was validating this transaction, so so there are many nodes there are many nodes or miners on the network. So each node will get a puzzle to solve. So and that puzzle we call it nonce. So nonce basically is a kind of a pattern or something. So the computer will use its computation power to solve the nonce, and the computer which does solve the nonce first will get to mine the block. So that's how a proof of work consensus mechanism works. So this is how the whole transaction of on Ethereum blockchain look like. Now coming to different types of blockchain. So there are two different types of blockchain. One is public blockchain and private blockchain. So public blockchain is basically the blockchain Ethereum or Bitcoin. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, they are public blockchain. They are public network. Like anyone can participate. In private blockchain, the participants are actually pre-selected. So, and in public blockchain, we require cryptocurrency. And in private blockchain, no cryptocurrency is required. For in public blockchain, examples are Ethereum, Bitcoin, and for private building a private blockchain, we use technology such as Corda blockchain. We use Hyperledger, and the decentralization rate in public blockchain is very high. Private, it is very low. Throughput is very low in public blockchain because as there are a lot of participants in the network, so throughput becomes less, and participants are very much less in private, so there is a high throughput, and energy consumption is very high, and in private energy consumption is very low. And you maybe have heard to mine a Bitcoin or an Ethereum, it requires a high amount of energy consumption. It is so because high network congestion, high gas fees. So that's why participants are very participate. There are a lot of participants in the network, so that's why high energy consumption is used. Now coming to one of the biggest public blockchain or the biggest layer one solution, Ethereum blockchain. So the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin is that they both are cryptocurrencies, both uses proof of work consensus mechanism, but Ethereum it is more than a cryptocurrency. Ethereum blockchain allows developers to build decentralized applications over its blockchain, which Bitcoin does not provide. So Ethereum has its native cryptocurrency ETH, or what we call Ethereum, and it uses ETH as its native cryptocurrency to maintain the network. ETH cryptocurrency has a lot of utilities. So coming to the components of Ethereum, that is smart contracts. So smart contracts are the building or what we call the building mechanism or the logic we write in the form of code on the blockchain, and that's how a decentralized application is built, or basically we can call a backend of a decentralized application. Next comes the Ether cryptocurrency. The DApps are the decentralized applications. So decentralized applications are the applications which are built on the top of blockchain, and which interact through the blockchain. So, and next comes the EVM. EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine on which the whole blockchain works. On the whole Ethereum network works. Sorry. So, and the last is the proof of work consensus mechanism. So each blockchain has its consensus mechanism. Bitcoin and Ethereum uses proof of work consensus mechanism. So consensus basically means an agreement. And as I said earlier, uh, uh, like uh, uh, when a node validates the transaction, and all these nodes and miners comes to a consensus or an agreement that one particular person will mine the block. So that's how the whole consensus mechanism work. And there are other consensus mechanisms such as proof of stake, and others. Next, coming to the use cases of blockchain technology. So blockchain has various use cases. One of the biggest use cases, decentralized finance. So decentralized finance was first started with Ethereum network, and decentralized finance is a shift from traditional finance, or the earlier banking systems we see. So decentralized finance is a finance of peer-to-peer finance enabled by decentralized technologies such as blockchain. Crypto. So crypto is what we call the fungible tokens. Crypto are the digital assets on which, based on a network that is distributed across the net or across the computers, and this currency or this decentralized structure allows them to exist outside the control over central authorities. So we have seen fiat currencies such as INR, fiat currencies such as USD. So these are fiat currencies, or the traditional currencies, and these currencies are controlled by central authorities such as RBI. But cryptocurrency are not controlled by any central authority. They are not being regulated by any other central authority. So, and they are also called fungible tokens because there are a lot. Because there is not one Bitcoin. There are 21 million Bitcoins, and the Bitcoin can be traded with each other. Next comes to the NFTs. It is one of the trending thing which is happening, which is going on in the Web 3.0, or what we call the non-fungible tokens. NFT is also a form of a crypto asset or a digital asset which is stored on the blockchain. And NFTs are also stored in the form of a transaction on the blockchain. And as we said, the data can be anything, or NFT can be in a form of anything. It can be in a form of an image, it can be in a form of a video, text, or meme. And anyone can view the item because only the buyer of an NFT has the official status of being its owner. So once a transaction is recorded, once or NFT is being minted on the blockchain, the particular address through which the NFT is being minted is the owner of that particular NFT. And once it is sold, the owner or the address gets changed on the blockchain. So NFTs and crypto, the major difference between is non-fungible tokens and fungible tokens. So non-fungible means that it cannot be traded with each other. Means NFT can be only one. There can be only one unique NFT of a particular thing. So as fungible tokens or cryptos can be traded with each other, but NFTs cannot be. Taking example of the WWE cards or the other cards which you used to play, or the cricket cards which you used to play in a childhood, and each card we know has some unique value. So that is how it is same with NFTs. NFTs are also fine some type of cards, and each card has its own value. Next come the medical and health. So, medical healthcare, so blockchain-based solutions, a lot of research is going on in the medical and healthcare sector to implement blockchain, because in traditional healthcare and medical systems, data management is very poor, medical supply chain tracking is very poor. So, with the help of blockchain, these can all be overcome. Data can be maintained easily because transactions are stored in the form of a ledger, and supply chain tracking can also be enhanced because we know through from where the transaction is made, as we are able to trace the origin of the transaction. So this thing will be essential in supply chain as well. Next come the supply chain. The global supply chain is also inefficient and poorly tracked. And as I said earlier, we can, with the help of blockchain, we can facilitate and accurate asset, and we can get to know from where this particular product is coming. Because currently we also sometimes we don't know from where we are getting that particular product or software. There is no transparency. Tracking is very poor. So with the help, if we implement this thing with the blockchain, we can overcome all these hurdles. Next comes the voting mechanism. So voting manipulation is a very big deal in the countries, especially in a country like India. So, and sometimes we get to know that where the vote, like who made the vote, and is our vote getting manipulated or not. So with the help of blockchain, like as we know, once a transaction is stored, or it cannot be changed, it cannot be modified. So if we implement this thing on the blockchain, if we implement voting on the blockchain, if our vote is being stored on the blockchain, no one can manipulate with our vote. So it is one of the biggest application voting mechanism on the blockchain. Next comes the opportunities. So there are plenty of opportunities in the blockchain right now, and the market is expected to grow to $40 trillion till 2025, because the adoption of blockchain is increasing day by day. Next, coming to the job opportunities. So first is the blockchain developer. You can become a blockchain developer to get into blockchain, and there are two types of developer. You can become a blockchain core developer, the one who build the blockchain, the one who write the protocols or the network. And next comes the blockchain software developer, the one who build the decentralized applications. So next from the blockchain architect. So blockchain architects and blockchain designers, they both are uh, uh, they both are responsible for building the whole architect or the solution architect for building a blockchain or a decentralized application. And there are also blockchain front-end developers. The developers should know basic front-end libraries such as React, Angular, but they should also be aware of Web3.js. So Web3.js, Truffle, Hardhat. So these are the softwares or the libraries which we use. And Web3.js is a JavaScript based library. So that library is used in building decentralized applications, because it bridges the gap between smart contracts and front end. Next come the blockchain legal consultants. So blockchain legal consultants are also is also in demand because there are some, while building cryptocurrencies, there are some legalities or to write the tokenomics. So blockchain legal consultants are used. And next come the community manager and a content writer. So community manager and content writer, like personally, I saw a surge in this role because when NFTs project came, crypto projects came, the demand of content writers and community managers increased because blockchain community managers and content writers should be the one who understands the technology, who are able to communicate with the people about the technology very well. So that's how they are being paid very much apart from traditional writers and managers. So that was all, guys. This was all. Now I guess we can have some Q&A sessions and we can discuss. Hello, Samriddhi, Sanket. Now we can have like we can take some Q&A sessions. Guys, if you have any question, you can ask in chat. We are happy to solve your doubts.
Okay, so we can, I think, Lakshit, we can take this from somebody had asked something. Wait, how did you get interested in blockchain, Khushi Sinha?
So, firstly, I started out as a web developer and I learned MERN stack and like like I was doing pretty well in web development, but when I came in third year, my one of my friend introduced me to blockchain, and like I was fascinated by the technology because of its application and because of its scope. Because at that time, less people know about blockchain, and that was a very good time to get into the technology because, as we say, yeah, as you say, the demand is very less, but supply. Sorry, the demand is more, the supply is less. So that's why I thought to get into this. Plus, having web development experience also was a plus point for me. So because while building decentralized applications, concept of web applications are required. So that's why I choose to get into blockchain.
So somebody is asking, from where can I completely learn developing an Ethereum coin, Dargi, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Like you can do, we can build cryptocurrencies on different types of blockchain. On Ethereum, we can build our own token. If you master Solidity, you can pretty sure do that. It's not a very tough task or a rocket science into that. So Ethereum uses ERC20 standards and ERC 721 standards. So Ethereum has its own standards to build token or to build NFTs. So we have to developers have to follow that standards or the protocols to build an NFT or a token. So that's how you can.
Hmm.
So there was one question: how is data encrypted but we can see the transactions?
Okay, so transactions anyone can see those transactions. They are publicly available. You can check the transaction hash, but you can't see the encrypted data. So what happens is there is a concept of private key and public key into this. I guess maybe you have heard about asymptomatic cryptography. So that concept comes into role. So suppose if A and B, so both A and B having their public and private keys. So if B sending some data to A, and the person A will be decrypting that data with the help of their private key. Public keys, like in the wallet also, if you're having crypto wallet, you'll get your own private and public key. But private key is something that is hidden. You don't have to share your private key. You can share your public keys, but private key is the that particular thing which is used to decrypting that data. So that's how data can be decrypted, and to encrypt that data, we use certain cryptographic hashing algorithms.
So one interesting question we have from Gunjan that I would like to take. For investing in crypto, do we need to learn too much about blockchain technology?
Sanket, you can take this.
Yeah. So this is very interesting because even I started investing back in 2018, and I amassed a certain amount of personal wealth, and I was doing really well. But eventually, I got scammed as well. I lost half a Bitcoin when Bitcoin was trading at 40,000 pop, because I was a part of a pump and dump group. So, see, technically, you don't need to learn a lot about the tech in the sense that you don't have to know how to code. But what I would suggest is, whenever somebody is releasing their coin, then every coin needs to have some utility or some value that it's adding to the ecosystem. And the way that you can learn what value that the coin is adding to it, the entire ecosystem, is by going through its white paper. White paper is basically the scientific research or the roadmap of what the company is doing with the coin or what its intentions are. And you have to know the basics, I think. So a couple of steps I would suggest is go through the company's socials, check if they're actually active, the sort of content that they're pushing out, and then obviously go through their white paper, read their roadmap, see what their vision is. If they have a vision, like for example, a lot of these coins are are functioning so like an entire company of its own. It's called a DAO, like decentralized autonomous organization, and they have a lot of utility. For example, a lot of these social enterprises are also releasing their coins so that you can invest in social purposes through these coins. So if that's the sense of a coin, so probably it's beneficial to invest in that coin because it has some long-term value. And yes, you need to answer the question. You need to know something about blockchain technology, how it's working the backend, but you don't need to be proficient with coding or anything. Next question, Lakshit. Can you explain the roadmap for being a blockchain developer as a beginner?
Yeah, sure. So, like actually, we have written a guide also on the blockchain. It's available on our Discord server, and you can also join our Discord for getting a roadmap. So basically, what it is like, if you don't have any experience, I would say to build a good basic of programming. You can first start with getting a good having a good programming base. You can start with learning JavaScript. You can learn Python, C, C++, and have a good programming base. And you can simultaneously enhance your DSA skills as well, because if you know DSA, it's a plus point for you in the blockchain. Um, and after that, you can start with the basics of blockchain, uh, uh, and then simultaneously move to Ethereum development. And while learning basics, you should understand the principal architecture, working of technology, all the cryptographic hashing algorithms in detail, and then you can start with development. Uh, because till now you have a good programming base with yourself. And what I would suggest to learn JavaScript, because if you want to become a full stack blockchain developer, Solidity is the language used for building Ethereum smart contracts. And other languages such as Rust, Python are also used for blockchain, but Solidity is one of the in demand. Golang is also there if you want to learn Hyperledger. So Solidity, if you know JavaScript, Solidity will be a plus point for you, because Solidity is something related to JavaScript, and it's a very high level language. And after doing this, learning Ethereum development, start building some decentralized applications, start getting hands-on experience, and that's how you can become a blockchain developer. And if someone who don't wants to get into development, they can get into management side as well. They can also become blockchain project managers, because me myself as well, I am trying to shifting to blockchain project management, because like you can explore in this technology. The technology is new. You can explore options. You can also explore community management. You can also explore content writing, because uh, when it comes to salary, because I know blockchain developer has gets a good salary, uh, but Like other roles which I'm talking about, they are also being highly paid. If you have a very good experience into blockchain. Also, wanted to mention here, me and Sanket, we both are part of Coin D6 Pathbreaker community. You can also join that community. It's a decentralized community. The community is open to all, and the community even incentivize you for learning blockchain, and like you can do a lot of things in the community. If someone is interested, let me know. I will help you with the I'll help you with the enrollment. Yeah. So also, as I said, like there's a detailed guide given, and it's available on our Discord. I'll do one thing. I'll share the guide here itself as well.
I've shared the link to our Medium channel as well, Lakshit. Probably they
Okay,
can
okay.
just sift through the contents of that as well.
So have you shared? Like we have to share it.
Yeah, Medium and LinkedIn also I've shared.
Okay. Actually I'm sharing it
So,
once again. This is
yeah,
our
sure.
Medium channel. You can find all the blogs you can find about blockchain, NFTs. Like there's a lot of blogs.
Sunidhi has a question, and Ishita, I guess, has the same question. How can we start as a beginner? So, guys, see what Lakshit is saying is basics of coding. You can probably start by going to Solidity Docs, and you can just start from there. But a lot of the people have started complaining that Solidity Docs are very vague, and it's very difficult to start, using the Solidity Docs. So what we have done is we have curated some really simple resources so that you can just read them and start enacting them out, which will give you some exposure to blockchain as a technology, and probably from that point onward, you can start hands-on development. And also, what we've done is we've created a GitHub repo where we have a very small assignment for you guys. And probably if you just go through that assignment and get that done, you'll probably be able to get started with a serious level of interest in blockchain development. That is
Sanket,
also on our Discord
we
channel.
can
Yeah.
we can do one thing. Like we can share the
Hmm.
assignment here, and like I can share my screen and explain about the assignment. I guess that would be
Yeah,
great.
that would be okay. So let's just ask in the chat box, guys. Can we do that? Is that fine? Please do let us know in the chat box if you want us to share our screen and explain. Oh,
Uh,
okay. I want
Sanket, you
to
can.
join the community. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Lakshit, please share the screen and you can.
Can you like share me the link here in the chat? I'll
Okay,
do one
the
thing.
GitHub
I'll
link.
share my screen. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me just go to. Let me just get this. It'll probably take me a minute to get the
Yeah,
link. Any other questions we can take them up.
yeah. Meanwhile, we
Meanwhile, I
can take
just
some other questions.
yeah.
Guys, do you have like other questions? Like if do you want to ask something about NFTs? Like that's a very
Yeah.
interesting question we get in every webinar. You can ask about
Mhm.
that.
See, this is not a class. Like we are not professors and we're not here to grade anyone. So you just feel free and ask whatever you feel like, even if it's a silly doubt. Nobody's here to judge.
Also, can you tell them the career orientation of blockchain? Like, what all more lines can they open if they get started with blockchain, or how is it in demand in professional
Hmm.
life?
Yeah.
So
So yeah. Go ahead.
okay, so see, like there's a big demand, and as I said, like the market is growing day by day, and the demand is increasing. Even Web 2.0 based companies are being shifted to Web 3.0. They like blockchain based product companies are coming up. There are service based companies. So it is not essential to become a blockchain developer, to be honest. I even started first with blockchain development, but I got switched to content writing and community management role. because I wanted to explore this site. So it's not an essential thing to do that. A lot of roles are there, but as we know, the technology is in a very nascent stage. Like things are coming up. Things are coming up, like, and maybe in near future, like maybe in 2 to 3 years, when when you guys graduate, you may get as much a good opportunities what we didn't get. So during this time, you can prepare yourself for that. You can start doing internships. There are a lot of internships available. You can start with internships and you can get a hands-on experience and basically build yourself and to get ready for the
Yes.
market.
Okay. So, um, anything that have become really popular with blog in comparison to which weren't as popular in Web 2.0 are community managers, content writers, and designers. Reason being, number one, blockchain is, as you know, there is a high barrier to entry. Not a lot of people understand what it is. And that is why there has to be a very user-friendly user interface, user design, so that people can easily, just as they did with their Web2 websites, they can do similar stuff with Web3 websites, and they don't understand what the difference is. So people just, I mean, see, if you're a company, what you want is more people come to your platform. And if you create a very complicated interface, probability is less people will come to your platform, right? So that's why the need for good UI UX designers that can have a very good research base and can research and create user interfaces that are exceptionally well laid out are high in demand. So number one is that, and we've seen salaries for UI UX designers in the US specifically go way beyond what developers are earning. To quote an example, last couple of weeks, my friend got hired with some blockchain company, with some startup, and they were paying him, I think, $110,000. And just a month back, another person that I know got hired as a UI UX designer for $180,000. So that's the sort of stuff that is going on. And both of them are from India. Both of them are doing remote work. They are living in India and earning this sort of money. But on the other hand, both of them have 3 to 4 years of experience as well. So starting salaries might be less for designer, but as seniority grows, there's certainly scope if you work on it. Number two, community manager. So blockchain as a concept is based on collaboration and community. I think it was Ratan Tata or somebody revered who once said that, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. So that's the concept blockchain is based on, right? You collaborate with people and you build a community, and that community grows, and you have fun and you learn from each other. You fight, you remove spammers, you do a lot of things together, and that's how blockchain is being built. Only Ethereum as a foundation also gives grants to developer to build upon and research for new things, and that's how new protocols come to be active. So people have really recognized the importance of communities, and that's why community managers are also being paid really high. In fact, to help you guys out with community management, I think we also need a couple of community managers with us. So if anyone is interested in learning about community management and blockchain through the same, you can probably help us out as well. Okay, I'll answer these questions as well. And another thing, content writing is going on. Content writing, see, Content Storm took India by the way, right since the pandemic started. Freelance content writers, especially on LinkedIn and on different platforms, have been creating content and been successfully monetizing it. YouTube content creators, Instagram content creators, all of them have been sort of monetizing their content since COVID started, because ever since COVID started, all of us have been at home. We've been using mobile devices to consume this content. And what happens is, as humans, the sort of content that we consume is the sort of way we start thinking about things. So if I'm sort of just going through blockchain content, so probably I'll be thinking about blockchain in free time, or cryptocurrency investment according to my interests, and these are the sort of threads or feeds I follow, right? So that is why content creators have become really popular in terms of job opportunities as content creator. Number of freelancers, number of jobs. So freelancers are obviously doing well. So I'll give you an example. Normal content creators make web
Sanket, I guess you
okay,
can like switch off your video. Like I guess your voice is
okay.
not
Okay,
audible
I'll just
properly.
switch off my video. Okay. Right. So is it fine now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello. Okay. So as content creators, for example, Well, I was working with Web2 companies, I was working with White Panda. Okay, I'll not take the name. I was working with a firm, and they were paying their content writers. They had a few freelance content writers that I was in touch with. So, for example, according to the level of research, they were each content writer was being paid 30 paise to 50 paise per word. This is just an example, arbitrary. But in terms of blockchain, if you're a good content writer, you can get anywhere from 6 to 7 rupees per word. And if you're working for a big exchange, you might as well get like 15 to 20 rupees per word. So it all depends on the level of research that a piece has. And blockchain being a nascent technology has a lot of research involved. So freelance content creators or content writers in blockchain are earning a lot of money. Number two, jobs. So in terms of jobs also, since people have realized that the only way to grow your community is to push out a lot of content and distribute this content, right? So that's why the number of jobs have expanded, and so have the personal salaries for these. I don't have the numbers for jobs as content writers, but most certainly the demand has increased for content in general. So I think Lakshit is now presenting the assignment. So you guys can
Yes.
just
So,
take a look at the
guys,
assignment.
this is the GitHub repository, and like we have shared the repository link in our in the chat. So this is all like you can start like it explains like what is Solidity. So Solidity is a high-level object-oriented language, just like inspired by JavaScript, C++, and Python. It is it's a statically typed language. It's not a dynamic language. And for writing Solidity, we use Remix IDE. Remix is an Ethereum IDE. So basically, what does Remix provide us with great tools? It provides us a it advises like a proper interface through which we can interact with with a smart contract. So you can follow these steps there's a code. There's a simple code, and so first while writing a smart contract we start with this pragma solidity. We declare this we declare the version of the solidity. So, and that's how we start. Here we are making a simple smart contract of a calculator, doing normal addition, subtraction, multiplication. So that's what we are doing here. And after writing this simple smart contract, we compile this. It's basically get automatically compiled. And after compiling it, we deploy it to the blockchain. We deploy it to a demo blockchain basically. And after getting deployed on the blockchain, and as I said earlier, we uses Ethereum uses EVM, so Ethereum virtual machine. So what happens is whenever you are deploying your smart contract on EVM, you will get the bytecode and you will get the ABI, the application binary interface. So we use ABI to we use ABI with our Web3.js technology and with the React library. So that's how, with the help of ABI and with the help of Web3, we are able to build a decentralized application, and that's how our front end is able to talk to the blockchain. So while after deploying, we get this interface addition, divide, multiply, subtract uint 256. So uint basically is an unsigned integer. While declaring integers or declaring a string, we have to write whether it is a string or a unsigned integer. So so that what it is. Because as I said, Solidity is a statically typed language, so we have to uh, uh, declare a type of a variable. So 256 basically uint basically means unsigned integer. It's not an integer. So integer we get minus plus one like below than zero. But in unsigned it can't be it can't be in the minus. Everything is zero plus, and 256 represents that it is till 256 bytes only. So that is a sample smart contract, and whenever we deploy, we get this in our remix editor. And if a contract gets failed, we get this type of notification. So you can try this out. If you have any doubts, let us know. Here we can see while deploying, we are using this JavaScript environment. Our account is this, so we are deploying a smart contract from a demo account, and that particular account has this address and demo ethers, because while deploying or while interacting with the smart contract, the concept of gas fees is used, because as I said, gas fee is type of a transaction fees for mining the block. This is the minimum gas limit, and this is the unit which we use, and that's how we deploy it on Rivix. I guess you'll get a better understanding when you will do this on your own. And if you have any doubts regarding this, let us know. Also, we are thinking to prepare some sample guides like this, like how to mint an NFT, how to mint an ERC20 token. So for now, that it is. Like you can start with this and let us know if you have any doubts.
Okay, so one question that has come up repeatedly is how to get an internship in blockchain. What is the basic knowledge we must have? How do we grab these opportunities?
So basically, what you can start with, you can first start with, like as I said, it depends like in which field you want to get internship, but whichever the field it is, you should understand what is blockchain. At least you should have a basic understanding of blockchain, crypto, NFTs, Web 3.0, metaverse. You should know like what these things are and what is actually happening, because crypto writers are being paid because of that only, because they understand the blockchain very well, and that's how they are paid very well for that. That is the main reason, because they understand the technology. So whichever the field it is, you should know like what is blockchain, how it works, and the whole mechanism. Because while doing research also, you have to go through the white papers, and if you don't understand the technology well, you won't be able to write that much well.
Also, I've shared this Airtable link if somebody wants to help us out with our social media or community
Yeah, it's a
management.
totally
They can
voluntary
fill the
work. It's totally a volunteer
yeah.
work. Actually. You can
Yeah,
learn
and
within the process.
we'll teach you about blockchain, what it is, how it functions, and everything. And probably you'll get some better exposure by talking to more people in blockchain, connecting with new people. And see, the only way to get relevant internships in blockchain at the moment, and there might be other ways, but the best way for me that has worked is go on LinkedIn, search for companies that you feel that you're capable enough to work in, or maybe you know something about blockchain. So I mean, just try, right, and send them a connection request, add a note that I would love to land an internship with your company or with your firm, and please guide me as to how to facilitate that, and stuff like that. Probably we can help you out once you start. Another question. Okay, so this is the last question we'll be taking. One question I saw about NFTs.
Sanket, I guess, yeah, NFT question, yeah. So, do
Yeah,
you
so
want to
this is
tell
the
about
last
that,
question.
or
Hmm.
should I do it?
I'll do it. So NFTs
Okay.
basically the reason that they're gaining hype is because it's because of the rarity, and number two, in recent times, most NFTs have some utility as well. As I mentioned with the crypto tokens, right? They need to have some utility. It's called the tokenomics. Similarly, NFTs also need to have some utility to it for them to exist eventually. So, for example, if you have like, it's like basic demand and supply, right? And number one is empowering the artist. Number two is basic demand and supply. So if there are very limited NFTs, so naturally the price of each NFT rises. I'll give you an example. The reason why Rolls Royce is such an expensive car is because there are only, I mean, of course, it has some engine built by Airbus or something, or the other way around something. And obviously, it is a very luxurious car. But one of the main reasons why its price is so high is because there are only 10 like those in the world. So everyone wants one, but only people who have a lot of money can buy one. So that is the same reason with NFTs. And with Rolls Royce, if you invest in a Rolls Royce, probably your wealth will depreciate over time. I don't know, I'm not sure about that, but with NFTs, chances are your wealth will grow. Number
Basically,
two,
it's
utility.
an asset. It's an asset.
Yeah, it's an asset. Yes, exactly. It's an asset. And you have to sort of be into the market and understand the technology behind it as well so that you can completely monetize this asset. And you need to up your game and stay always online in the sense that which NFT is being traded for what floor price, what is the new collection that is coming up, where can I auction this. So you need to be up to date with this stuff. And number two, okay, so you can probably mint these NFTs in two ways. Number one, you can just create a digital art and upload it on OpenSea, and whenever there's a transaction, then there'll be some gas fee charged, and you'll receive the monetary compensation in exchange for the NFT. Number two, you can create your ERC 721 or 1155 contract and mint it on the network. Also, one more question was there. Was there a question? Let me see. But this is the last question for NFTs, and then
Firstly, I would like to add in this, like NFTs,
hmm.
like before investing them, you should first check their utility, what the
Yeah.
NFT is, utility is offering, and same goes for cryptos as well. Like uh, m- like you should don't you should don't invest in meme coins, especially like Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. I guess they don't have any utilities, but before checking it, and as Sanket mentioned, you should go through the white paper. You should go through the community. You should check if the followers are legitimate or not. Like what is basically the overall utility of that, and you can even mint your own NFTs on NFT marketplaces like OpenSea, Rarible. So these are the NFT marketplaces, and if you want to make your own NFT with a smart contract, you can learn building smart contract development, and you can get the resources on our Discord community and the resources which I share.
So
I
I
guess
think
Sanket,
we can wrap this up, right, Lakshit?
yeah, we can wrap it up. And also, guys, if
Okay.
you have
So
any other
hmm.
questions, let us know. We'll be happy to help you,
Hmm. Okay.
and you can
So
ask the
thank
questions on
you.
our server. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much for inviting us. This is really lovely helping you guys and sort of giving this webinar. And Samriddhi, anything, if any, is there anything else that is required to be done?
I don't
Also,
think
one
so.
thing
Yeah.
I would like to mention. So, guys, me and Sanket, we both were like working on like to starting a chapter or a boot camp, a free boot camp session to teach students about blockchain technology and blockchain development. So, we'll be starting that very soon. Let us know if you are interested for that. It will be a totally free session for everyone. Where
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so probably we'll have Samriddhi share a form for that as well, and it will be like a month-long session. We'll start with the basics of GitHub. We'll teach you everything. But Discord server, we'll add information on Discord server, and probably will be shared in your groups as well. Probably start a chapter like GDSC or IEEE or anything, something like that, and everything will be free. And from 0 to 1, we'll teach you how to launch your first smart contract on Ethereum with Polygon. ठीक है. Thank you so much, guys, for having us. Okay, a lot of
Thank you
people
so
are
much,
interested,
Samriddhi.
Lakshit, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then
Thank you.
surely we'll share the form. And thank you so much,
Yeah.
Samriddhi. The session was very great, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lakshit Sanket. It was such a dynamic event. Such a dynamic event. Thank you so much. सबकी
Thank
तरफ से
you.
भी thank you. बहुत सारे chat box में आ गए हैं. You can do it.
Yes, yes. Also,
Okay. Bye.
like I guess some students didn't get the Discord link. You can share it on the groups.
Some people said they're not able to join it. So I don't know if there's an issue with the link.
Okay.
I what I can do is I'll share another link
Let
probably.
let me share again.
Yeah. In the
Uh,
meantime,
yeah,
some
I'm
questions
sharing.
about NFTs will come up. Guys, we can answer these questions on the Discord only because I think. Uh, hmm.
जैसे you can
Sanket,
direct
are
your
you sharing the link?
Hmm?
Are you sharing the link, Sanket?
I've already shared the link, I think 3 or 4 times. Probably some error on my end. Would be great if you could share the link as well.
Yeah, I've done. I've done it again.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so any
Okay then.
questions left, then you can direct it on their Discord thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay then. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. I'll be ending the session now.
One thing, Samriti,
Yes.
I hope the session is being recorded
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.